old heart impacts past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Q's show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, a few things did happen. However, we'll be skipping over that and actually cutting to the next morning. Midoriya, he does wake up. And he does have Celine right by his side. Now, Midoriya actually does go to stand, as he does get on his feet and just think about everything. Damn it. Shit. Okay, that happened. Now, Roy, he tries to think about what time he's lost. All those hours seemingly just wasted. Okay. No. Damn it. Now, Celine would wake up, asking him if he's alright. Yeah, I'm okay. How about you? I'm okay as well. So, I'm trying to think. It's strange. Your head is clear, isn't it? Yeah. I don't feel angry. In fact, I feel amazing. I feel calm. I feel almost human again. My emotions, they're there. I've been neglecting them. You tend to do that when you're one of us. Yeah. But you know what I mean, right? I've just been pushing down the idea that I can't be that. I'm no longer that. Huh. After all the shit I've done, I don't think I deserve to feel like this. I don't think I deserve to feel peace. With all the people I've killed with my bare hands, I am surprised I can feel happy. Well, Izuku, that's simple. You didn't ruthlessly murder them. They're lichen and vampires. There have been hiccups here and there with humans, but that's to be expected. In our time, you've primarily focused on villains, however. If you wanted to, you could have gone on a rampage. In a single night, murder every human in the city. No one could stop you. And even the ones who could, they don't really pose too much of a threat. The only hero who really would have been able to challenge you is gone. And even then, I doubt things would have turned out any better. Thanks. That makes me feel somewhat better. It was rocky, you know? Being this. I don't know how normal hunger feels, but every time I get hungry, it's intense. Is it the same for you? No, I didn't really notice a difference. At first it's high, but then it goes down a little bit. I see. So I'm guessing at the appetite. Hmm. Well, Midoriya, you're higher maintenance. You're both. You're different. You're virtually limitless. That word, I don't think it means what you think it means, Celine. Now, Ray would go to step out onto the patio or the area outside his room where he can look out and see the city. Thinking about how, right now, there's Lycan planning against them. And they need to find out what they're doing. Now, with that being said, we will currently cut over to what they're doing. I know I'm amazing at transitions. Anyways, now, what these Lycan have been doing is they've been gathering allies who know tech for the specific purpose to take down a mansion, to take down a coven. Now, as far as they're aware, all these covens have had business as usual, and they do gear up to attack one. Now, they are currently in another city, as they do take the chance. Now, we will cut to a house. Everything is business as normal, and they have locked down for the day, and are currently sheltering in place. Now, this is whenever a random passerby would actually walk up and press the button. Everybody confused as they do look out and see the Lycan standing there in their human form. Hello? Yes. Hello, is this them saying the name of the mansion? Yes, it is. And who might you be? Now, they do try to use what they do know to convince themselves to be let in. Talking about how they have a very special care package for this person. Now, nobody really does care, as where the person is told to go away and that security will actually open fire on them from a position that they can't actually use. Yeah. The Lycan does do one thing. They put their hand in their pocket and wrap their hand around something, as they press a button, and they explode. Now, this explosion does blow the gates off of the actual area, along with destroying a good portion of the concrete and foundation all around them. Now, this would be whenever other Lycans do actually come running out of the bushes. Some actually transforming in the middle of the day, as they'll do go to bombard the mansion. Now, other Lycan are actually using basically homemade tech, as they are currently using, well, basically one-shot rotary grenade launchers and handmade ammunition and explosives. Now, they quickly do try to basically break in, and this is quite simple. They're able to bust into the house and begin to fight the vampires. Now, some vampires go running. Others who do have weaponry on them do stand and fight. While the death dealers, they're actually going for the armory and getting every piece of ammunition that they do have. Now, they even do get the silver cartridge rounds along with silver bullets. Now, they do begin to try and hold off the Lycan. However, this group of Lycan, they've been getting this organized for quite some time. And the death dealers using their, centuries of experience, they do try and thin the herd, going for the ones who do have the, well, weapons, and even throwing out silver grenades. Now, they're actually thinning the herd. However, lichens are making their way through the area, as the death dealers are trying to clear them all. Now, for right now, pro heroes are unaware of the situation, since this place is so far away from civilization. By the time that they would hear about it and emergency services is called, it would already be too late. Now, we do cut to about some time later, where the manor is currently on fire. And the lichen, they have almost achieved their goal. Emphasis on almost. As we do currently have a room where a man has had his skull smashed into the ground. And he is bleeding a lot. As the person who just stand over them is, well, a lichen with a firearm, as they believe that they've cleared this mansion. Now, the lichen themselves do all continue talking, and they do quickly have to leave, since police sirens can be heard. Now, we do cut to the man, who has just had 5 to 6 different bullets shot into his body, along with his face smashed in and caved in. Now, we do follow the path of his blood, as it does dip into one of the bricks and continue to flow, until it does go over a seal. Now, we do have Midoriya, who, after a few hours go by in the day, they receive an SOS transmission, and it is from this convent. Now, the moment this does actually happen, Celine realizes that something is going on, and so does Midoriya, as it is heard that later on in the day, that something did happen at an estate off this city, talking about how the place was burned down, and that there was some collateral damage. That being all it really does state. Now, this is quite odd. Collateral damage? How is this possible? Now, in reality, the immortal is cleaning up after his children, as the humans, they are trying to be careful as well. However, they do make a mistake, arriving to where Marcus is supposed to be held. Now, Marcus is aware of what time of day it is, since he did consume blood. Now, he is aware that he has to wait until sunset, but that didn't stop him from at least burrowing out of his coffin. Now, he did stick to the shadows, and the humans that he could find, he pulled away, being able to actually consume their blood and feed. Eventually, the team did get picked off, and Marcus, he had a very, very hefty meal. Now, he did then fly away, once it did reach nightfall, and began to try and find one person. Now, the person he is searching for is something that he's long since dreaded. Or a little bit of a family matter. He has to find something called the hybrid, and he must kill it. Along with it, he must set his brother free, and then they can try to start over. Now, how they will start over, they will figure it out from there, since you do still have the second generation. It being theorized that if William gets into contact with a second generation Lycan, he might be able to turn human once again. Now, this theory is somewhat loose in Marcus's mind, and the beast who did attack the manor, well, it's certainly plausible. At least that is his hope. He just has to find the key. Now, with that being said, you do have Midoriya, who, whenever they do actually find a few little things here and there, Midoriya, he does actually get some information from Selene. Selene telling Midoriya that they just found who they do need to find. And it is quite amazing. Selene telling Zuko that this guy over here, the one man who would know about William and where he might be, is currently on this side of the country. Telling them that they need to make a bit of a trip. Now, Midoriya would ask about this guy, to which she would explain. A long time ago he was exiled, and basically forbidden from coming to the Covens, meaning that he had to find his own way to get blood. And well, there is also the fact that he was actually around to document those days. Now, Midoriya and her both would leave, as we do have Toga. She does actually just think for a minute. She can leave those two alone, since those two have already had a few moments. And from what she did here the other night, they had a lot of them. Now, with that being said, these two would leave right before sunset, as we do have a few hours later, where Marcus, he does arrive at this coven as well. The moment he does actually bust through the door and demand answers as to where Selene is, a few people are confused and horrified by the vampiric man they do see in front of them. Now, a few people would talk about how they haven't seen Selene in years, and about how she has not come around since then. Now, Marcus, he can smell a liar, and he does actually take one of these vampires and feed on them, learning that Selene, she's been here, and that they are lying to him. Him taking one of his wings and actually having it stab upwards into somebody, using it as a long claw. Now, he then just does rip the person into two, before he does ask anyone if they do know their current whereabouts. Now, we do have the Death Dealers, them all actually engaging Marcus, and trying to take him down. Now, Toga does actually join this in as well, since if they can't take this guy down, well, it's going to overcomplicate quite a bit of things. Now, with that being said, Toga and the Death Dealers, they do engage Marcus. And we even do have Melissa, who she does actually try to throw in a light grenade. Now, the moment that Melissa, she does toss a light grenade into the room, while the Death Dealers are all actually encountering Marcus, he does look down at it, watching as a Death Dealer does immediately go to throw themselves behind cover. Marcus actually taking that as a cue, and just throwing himself backwards through a window. Now, the moment he did do that, a large blast of light was shown, and it did actually melt off his right arm. Now, the moment this did actually happen, Death Eaters did begin to give pursuit. And Marcus did just look down at his hand, thinking for a minute that if they have weaponry like that, it's not going to be very helpful, as he quickly would run off. Now, he would go to find a place to rest up and regain his strength. Now, this would be quite bad, since he knows where they're going to be headed soon, and they have the technology to currently fend him off. However, whenever it does reach daytime, he might get more desperate. Now, Toga actually would begin to give orders, telling people they need to head here, and to fortify their defenses here, as they need to hold out against him if he does try to get back in. Now, we even do actually have Melissa, who she does try to calm Midoriya and Celine. However, with all the chaos, their power isn't really working too well. And well, she cannot get a hold of them. Her talking about how she can currently leave the manor and find a place to get into contact with them. Now, this is quite weird and strange. Melissa telling her that she does at least have some way to reach them, and that they need to tell them now and give them a heads up warning, even if it does mean that they might die against him. Now, Toga, she would look at Melissa, telling her that she cannot take this risk, and that it's better her trying to do it. Now, these two do somewhat argue, and it is, well, a bit more one-sided. Melissa is urging for her to do this, and that she can do it. She can already walk in the day, and she doesn't have the weakness to light. Toga explained that she can walk in the day as well, and that she doesn't have that weakness either. Now, she does just take this thing and run off, as we do actually have Melissa, who does actually go to transform. Now, the moment this does actually happen, they do actually have a few vampires, who do quickly move in front of her, talking about how it's too dangerous for her to go, and that if, Toga is willing to do this, then that does actually mean that she will actually help them. Now, Melissa does revert back, and explain that they can't view Midoriya as a god. Now, a lot of people here, they are trying to fight her claim, talking about how he is the one here to end the war, and bring a new age to their species. Now, Melissa is still pissed, as she actually does go to bend down and pick up the coat of a dead vampire, before just bringing it up and covering herself, as she does look out the broken window. Now, we do currently cut to Toga, who she is running with this device, and she is trying to get to higher ground. Now, there are gunshots going all throughout the entire forest, and, well, this is where Marcus and the Death Dealers are fighting one another, as you do actually see flashes of light in the forest, and even the scream of some Death Dealers. Now, Toga does actually begin to start climbing a tree, as she does head up as high as she can, her trying to get a signal anywhere. This one's not high enough. Her moving, and just continuing this trend. She's trying to get to a very, very high spot, and she does not have very much time. As we do currently have Marcus, who does actually go to stab out Death Dealer against a tree. And he does actually then go to getting a little bit close, asking the Death Dealer why they are working with the Abomination, the wretched being who is half of him and half of his brother. Now, the Death Dealer does try to get Marcus to talk, and to just simply keep him from finding Midoriya. Every second they're able to buy him, the further away he does get. And Marcus does just watch as the Death Dealer, they don't open their mouth immediately. And he does hate that. Him biting into their neck and reading their thoughts, absorbing the information through their blood. They're currently out to find somebody, and he knows exactly who. They're already a few hours ahead of him, and by the time he would get there, he could miss them. Now, we do then have Toga, who should just place this device, and then turn it on. Now, this is whenever static does come through the radio, as she does try to adjust the signal and flip a few switches, as she's able to grab a phone that's on this device and actually pull it off, dialing Midoriya's cell phone. Now, we do cut over to Midoriya and Celine, who are both speeding down the highway. Now, Midoriya does feel his phone buzz. I'm actually going to pick it up, as he does ask, "Hello?" Now, Toga does go to say the simple words, "Be careful, Mark," this being where she does cut off. Now, we do cut over to where Toga currently was. Her at the top of a tree with this thing, or phone, connected to a branch. As we do then have Marcus, who after grabbing Toga, he did actually take her down a peg. And he does just look down as his wings do flap. Now, Midoriya, he can hear that sound. And it's the sound of wind being moved. He doesn't understand. Where is she? Hello? Toga? Where are you? Toga? Hello? Now, Marcus is still looking down, as he does hear Izuku talking on the phone. Him actually going to grab it, as he does just say one word, "Hello," before crushing it. Now, he does then go to fly away, as we do have Toga, whose body is stuck at the top of a tree, and she is injured greatly, along with having a good portion of her blood drained already. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.